Good day, ladies and gentlemen. All right, for today's video, I'm basically going to make a response to the author of the Polyglot project, Claude. Claude made a really good video last night where he talked about dancing bears and polyglots. I thought it was a very good video, and I also thought the observation was very good. So basically, I'm going to just respond to that video and talk about 5 points in relation to this language community and just in language community in general. So the 5 things I'm going to talk about are goals, appearing as an elitist, being a disadvantaged individual in society, fame, and then life changing. Okay, so yeah, I want to start with the goals. So as I always state, everyone has their own goals, even in language. When it comes to languages, everyone has their own goals. Some people want to get to a native like level. Some people want to be on a basic level. Some people want to be intermediate. Everyone has their own goals, and I think we should respect we should respect everyone's goals. So when it comes to this this dancing bears incident, I think we also have to look at people's goals. Some people, they're in it for, perhaps they're in it for fame. They want to become famous. They want to demonstrate their language skills to the world. And I think as a polyglot, I think it could be very fun to be put on the spot and perform in whatever languages that you know. So I have respect for those who are doing that, but my goals are different. Some people, like I said, some people want to be famous and, prove a point to the world. And some people are like myself, are just here to grow as a human being and promote the effects of language learning, like the enrichment, show the effects of language learning. What happens when you learn a language? What it can do for you, and how it can change your life. So I mean, if you go back to my earliest videos, you will notice that I was, from the beginning, I was always about trying to get feedback on my languages and basically just responding to other language learners, or not just language learners, but people who are interested in learning languages and didn't believe that it was possible to learn a language. So if you go see those videos, you'll notice that the quality of my videos weren't really that good. You could barely hear me. There was a lot of noise in the background, and I had a problem with the light, So just looking at those, you can tell that, I wasn't really in it to try to get a whole lot of attention and, become famous here on YouTube. So, there are a lot of people in the community. They are some, even some newcomers. They misunderstand a lot of intentions here going on YouTube. And I know many of you know my intentions and goals, but I feel that I need to bring those up again. So my goals are basically just to I practice my language, get feedback from natives, and help people if they have any questions regarding language learning. I try to help them out the best that I can with the knowledge that I have, and just promoting the enrichment of language learning, sharing my experiences, showing people how language learning is effective when it comes to changing your life. So those are pretty much my goals. That's what I'm here for on YouTube. So I'm pretty much the same person. I think I've grown a lot ever since I started making YouTube videos, but my intentions are the same and my goals are the same. So the second thing I want to talk about is appearing as an elitist. And this is something that I fear the most. I really don't want to appear as an elitist here on YouTube, and what I mean by that is, when people see me, they right off the bat, they feel that I'm some sort of Superman or human being that, and that whatever, if they even try, they won't even come close to achieving what I've achieved. They have no confidence whatsoever to even attempt to do what I'm doing, and they just feel that I'm in another league or whatever, and this is something I fear the most. And I mean, I consider myself a good language learner, but I'm a human being at the same time. I had to start from somewhere, and I believe everyone has to start from somewhere, and through hard work and diligence, you can achieve a lot. And I try to set a good example here on YouTube for many people. So I mean, if I do appear as an elitist to some people, I would definitely highly recommend you, suggest you to just unsubscribe from my channel and don't watch my videos anymore, because those aren't my intentions. I don't want to come off like that, you know. So this is one thing I fear the most, and I try to observe my behavior, and the type of videos I put out there, just to try to avoid appearing as an elitist. So I feel that anyone can learn a language, no matter what background you are, where you come from. This is possible for everyone. And if you're an elitist, you don't believe this. If you're an elitist, you only believe that certain people can do it, and it's not for everyone. This is what it means when you're appearing as an elitist. Okay. So the third thing I want to talk about is being a disadvantaged individual in society. I like the Polyglot project. When I participated in that project, I thought it would be great. Me being a person growing up in a society being disadvantaged, I thought it would be great for me to share my experience with a lot of people, with the world, share my experience, show them that I went through a lot as a child. I went through a lot, and I struggled a lot. And, despite all those struggles, I was able to pull through and do some positive things, and those positive things are, related to language learning. Once I started getting into language learning, that's when my life started to really, really change, So I felt that by me sharing that story with a lot of people, they will be able to, especially people who will be able to relate to that story, and they will have the belief that, there is hope. No matter what you go through in society, there's still hope, So that's why I shared that story. It's a very personal story, but like I said, I'm here to try to promote, the enrichment of language learning, and I think that was a good decision on my part to share that story. So not just people who are disadvantaged in society, other people who just, they're going through some struggles in life, and they're looking for something to that can change their life, and language learning can definitely change your life. It really can. It's changed mine, and I want to keep trying to promote that here on my channel. So it's very important for when people see, if I see someone who's went through the same situations I went through, and they become successful in something, and they're positive, this is going to have an effect on my mentality, and I'm going to believe that if this guy's if he's went through the same struggles I went through, then perhaps I can do the same thing he's done and achieve what he's achieved. So I believe this is very important, and this is just something I consider a duty of mine, as a language learner. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is fame. Now, fame, as I mentioned before, some people's goals are, they want to become famous. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being famous. There's nothing wrong with becoming famous. I mean, I consider myself famous on YouTube, although I wasn't looking for fame. I mean, I guess I would consider myself a famous person here, and there's nothing wrong with that. But again, I think if it's done, I think it's for the right reasons. If it's for the wrong reasons, I don't think it's a good thing. And this goes back to appearing as an elitist. So like I said, there's nothing wrong with becoming famous as long as it's done for, the intentions are good. So for me, this wasn't my goal. Although I'm looked at as a famous person now, this wasn't my intention, and as I said before, when I explained the goals, the quality of my videos weren't really that good, and I don't script my videos. I basically, if I'm not practicing a language, I'm just talking from my mind. I don't script those videos. I don't rehearse them first. I just turn the camera on and talk, That's just what I do. And I believe if I believe for someone who is trying to become famous, they will make very careful observations of what they're doing and how, the type of videos they're uploading. They will go over the script, maybe spend a day or two going, getting their thoughts together on the video and then putting it out there. On top of that, making sure they have a quality camera, quality videos. All this stuff plays an important role of becoming famous on YouTube. They consider that because, some people look at it like, hey, if I don't have quality videos and, I don't have a good camera, or, I'm not getting my thoughts together in these videos, and how am I going to attract viewers? Presentation won't be pretty good. This is going to drive viewers away. These are all things that people take in consideration when they're really trying to become famous on YouTube. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying anything is wrong with that. What I'm saying is everyone's goals are different, but this is not my goal. Okay. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the life changing. This goes back to being a disadvantaged individual in society. Life changing. Language learning has changed my life. And I believe it can change anyone's life if they give it some time and they take the time out, they be patient, and they try out this. They just give it a shot. Give language learning a shot. It could change your life because, as you know, many of us have preconceptions about different cultures. Especially if you grew up in America. I'm sure it's like this in other places, but we all have these preconceptions of foreigners. I remember growing up and I used to laugh at the way people spoke English because of their accent. They sound funny. We used to make fun of people who sound funny. I didn't know. I didn't understand how much work it takes to learn a language, and now, looking back at that, when I was a child, I'm like, wow, I now understand how it feels to learn a language, and not everyone is going to be perfect. So this is part of changing someone's mentality. And this is part of changing, this is part of the life changing thing, And as I mentioned before, the stuff that I went through growing up, I had a rough childhood. I mean, the stuff that I went through, I should be in jail right now. I should be locked up. But, I didn't take that route. And after I chose language learning, I was able to stay on the right path, meet people from all over the world, learn about different cultures, and, get rid of my ethnocentrism, So this is a big life changer. So yeah, that's pretty much what I want to talk about in response to our buddy Claude's video. Like I said, it was a very good video. I'm going to try to post my video as a response to that video. And I'll post a link to that video in the description area as well. So the big question here, what I want to ask, basically language learners who don't have that much experience, who are really not that experienced as I am or others in the community about this topic, dancing bears and polyglots. What do you guys think? Do you guys look at these things as encouraging or motivating? How do you look at these things? How do you feel when you look at these interviews of people being interviewed and being asked to demonstrate in their in their target languages, whatever language they're learning? How do you guys feel about that? So that's it for this video. Thanks for viewing, and I look forward to you guys' comments.